we're only going to read the first chapter called Money, Money, Money on these 2 pages, okay? Here we go. You do not have the text in front of you yet, so look up here. Ka-ching! That's the sound of cold hard cash, dough, bread, loot, dinero, greenbacks, whatever you want to call it. It's money, money, money. There should be no writing. Does the thought of a mountain of moolah make you think of all those things you could be buying right now? Are you in the market for a new video game system with the best new games to play on it? Or maybe you're in the market for some clothes, toys, a cell phone, a computer, a present for a friend, or a new bike. The list could go on forever. Sure, you know that money can buy you stuff, but have you really thought about the money itself? What is it, and why is it valuable? Why does money come from one country? Why does money from one country look so different from another country's money? Have you heard the expression, money makes the world go around? In a way, it's true. We use money for just about everything, from food to clothing to the electricity and water inside your home. So, cash in on some knowledge and learn everything about money. So this is a photograph, and it says, I'm reading the caption, which is a text feature. It teaches me more about the photograph. Tourists and locals alike flock to Koh San Road in Bangkok, Thailand, where they can buy Thai handicrafts, used books, paintings, and clothing. I'm sure Mr. Staunton's been on that road before, as have I. And then this says Explorer's Corner. Hi, I'm archaeologist Fred Herbert. I've gone on digs all around the world to learn about the past. I can tell you that money dates back a long time, because I've dug out some pretty old coins. You'd be surprised to find out what we can learn about money and the things people value by looking at artifacts from the past. So now we're moving on to the first chapter of our text. What is money?
What is money?
And you have the text in front of you, just follow along with your eyes. We use money all the time, but what is money really? Money is something that can be used as an exchange for goods or services. We usually think of money as bills and coins. I'll wait. Is he teaching you the lesson? Is he teaching you the lesson? It's not mine. I guess could you just set it on the counter? Thank you so much. I'm going to reread it. If any of you look over there again, you won't participate either. Now I have to reread because you weren't listening. We use money all the time, but what is money, really? Money is something that can be used as an exchange for goods or services. We usually think of money as bills and coins, but that's not all money. That's not all that can be used as money. In fact, shells were used as a form of money for years. As long as both parties agree upon a form of payment, money can come in many forms. I am now going to do my example and non-example. Yes? We're just learning about money in general. Okay. This is my example. Of money are there? I know we learned that there are bills and coins and shells, but I'm wondering what other forms there are. Non-example.
Money to buy items.
People use money to buy items. Is that a question?
No.
Did I even have to read this to come up with that?
No.
No. This is a question, right? It starts with what, ends in a question mark, and I actually had to read about how people use shells for one form of money. I had to read about it in order to come up with that question. Now it makes me curious. Did people use buttons for money?
No.
I don't know. I'm just wondering now because people use shells, so it made me think, well, what other forms of money are there? Okay? So I'm going to keep reading. Is it better to barter? When two traders did not use the same form of money, they bartered.
What is barter?
Bartering is an exchange of goods and services for other goods or services. As early as 9000 BC, people were trading cows for other things. It was useful to barter livestock because people needed animals for food, for clothing, and to help them do work. So in essence, bartering means you're trading something for something else. So perhaps I would trade you a cow for a few sheep. That's bartering, trading goods back and forth.
Like if you traded somebody with something that you could trade it back, and you could trade something with them.
Yeah. Explorers in new lands, such as the Spanish explorers in North America in the 1500s, also bartered because they did not have any local money to exchange for what they needed. I hear an awful lot of talking. Money versus actually, we're going to stop. You have this part of text in front of you. Come up with one question. You've got 3 minutes. And then I'm going to have somebody come up and write it up on the board.
Money versus.
Start writing your question. Let's go.
I thought I was going to say you could be just give you help. Careful, right?
Veronica, can you? Yeah, thank you. And give it to Mr. He'll give it. Yeah.
Look, we
What
have to
other
start the
money
question
comes
with this.
out?
Who, where, what, when. We can't just start the question with money. Because that won't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
How does?
You have the text in front of you.
How is
What's your question?
boy
Those are shells. That's, you can write it down. If you got done with your question already, you have 1:50 to write 2 questions then.
What kind of money comes out? Can I say what kind?
You're not copying mine though.
Now what kind
I'm
of
not
money
copying
comes
mine.
out?
My own.
Think of it in a different way and let me know before you write it.
Spend money. I'd say if you look at our text, there several times.
Fine.
12 questions in order to get enough award.
6.
My 6 from the other 8.
Finished our money.
What about something on this page? Use the text. Go back into the text.
What are they? There, shells.
Oh.
Shells. What? It's a question. You're good. Don't forget your question mark. It's a question. Any other questions, Demetrius, about money?
I used my last name. What's more?
No, nothing. Chickens, more chickens there.
Alyssa, what was the question you wrote?
I had 3 questions.
Okay, just read one.
What do
Okay, Zion?
How do money get in? You copy down.
No, you know?
I wonder why do they spend their money?
Riley?
I wonder how does money get to different countries?
Great, so why don't you get that orange marker and write that on the example? Okay?
Riley?
And as Riley's writing, I'm going to keep reading now. Money versus currency. You might hear the word currency when people talk about money. Currency is the system or type of money that a particular area or country uses. Currency in Brazil, RIP, is called the real at the top left. And currency in India is called the rupee at the bottom left. Countries can have their own currency. So we have like the dollar bill. Or they can even share a common currency. Even though it's all money, different currencies are worth different amounts. Many kinds of money. In the past, people used many different things to exchange for goods or services. Goods you can think of as things, okay? And services, you can think of somebody that does something for you, like they serve you. So in addition to livestock and shells, and you can think of livestock as cows and animals, people have used metals such as gold or copper, woven blankets, silk, fish, salt, tea, leaves, peppercorn, and even bat droppings. Why? It makes a good fertilizer. On the island of Yap, Micronesia, people use giant stones called rye as a form of currency. So in some countries, people use stones for money. What isn't money? It isn't a loan. A loan is an agreement for one person to receive money with a promise to pay back money in the future. So if I loan you money, Sydney, I would expect that you pay me back that money I gave you later on in the future. And I'm glad you're still looking up here, Sydney. The person who gave the loan gave you money, but the person did not get goods in exchange. Most loans come with interest, which means you pay back the original amount plus some more. So if I loaned you $5, interest means that over time, however long it takes you to pay me back, we add on money. So let's say I give you $5, I loan it to you, and in 2 months' time, the interest is, I don't know, 25 cents a week. You would then owe me $7 and not $5. So interest is bad. What else isn't money? Well, it isn't a credit card. Credit cards are similar to loans. When you buy something using a credit card, you do not give the store money. Their credit card company does. Each month, you pay all or part of the money back to the credit card company, plus any interest that is owed. So if you were to buy something with a credit card for $20, you would have to pay back the credit card company, plus extra money for interest. So if you bought something that's $20 in the store, it's probably really $30 once you're done paying the credit card company. So that's all that we're reading today about money. That was really, really a lot of different information. You have this part of the text for you to make your questions. You will only have 15 minutes today. If you get done making 6 questions, try to write something that you learned in a nice paragraph. Everyone staying here today, begin writing.
Some questions all about money. So just write this on paragraph. It's just
What word?
yeah. So it's on paragraph.
TYP.